Reverend Lee here. Today, on Thoughts That Can Change Your Life, here's a thought. Why build focus? Good question. Why build the ability to focus for 20 seconds, for 30 seconds, for a minute? Because without the ability to focus, our mind will run rampant. Our mind has so many unconscious patterns and habits of thinking that when we don't focus, it automatically goes to those habits and creates havoc in our life. And for most people, they have forgotten that they can focus their thoughts, that they can direct their thoughts, that they control where the process of thinking is going. And because they've forgotten, they're living in a world that never changes. Because without new thoughts, nothing new happens. Life becomes the same old thing. Because our thoughts create. It's not a single thought. It's the thought atmosphere. It's the energy of all the thoughts together that create. And so if you think about it, this was an example that came up in class last night that I thought was just an excellent example. Think about this. Think about one of the old-fashioned scales, where you can go, goes up and down. So let's say this is where you are. The top one is abundance. The bottom one is prosperity. So the abundance, and the bottom one is lack. Where are most of your thoughts? On lack. If you don't start to focus and change your thinking, you're keeping adding thoughts to the bottom one. It gets heavier and heavier. If you want to change your abundance consciousness, you've got to start adding thoughts, more thoughts to the top than the bottom, more thoughts to abundance until you have a switch. And the more you add to abundance, the more abundance becomes, the heavier, the more you start experiencing abundance. That's the benefit of focusing your thought. But if you just start listening to the news, listening to social media, listening to television, listening to radio, what kind of thoughts are they giving you? Are they abundant thoughts? Are they health thoughts? The other day, was it yesterday? The other day we were watching something on television. I was watching Colin Cowherd. I watch about 20 minutes of his show every afternoon while I'm eating lunch. Every commercial that was coming on was a pharmaceutical commercial talking about why you need this drug. What's it doing? It's feeding unhealthiness. It's not talking about eating healthy food. It's not talking about exercise. It's not talking about meditation. It's not talking about reducing stress. So what happens? Here's health. Here's illness. The gap gets wider because we're not consciously thinking. We're allowing the thoughts to come into our mind. It's time we take control of what thoughts we allow into our mind and then control the thoughts that we think. Because we have habits of thinking, they're not doing us all that good. They're not serving us. The power is always in where you direct your thoughts. And this is not just in health, this is in every aspect of life. Every aspect of life. When I ask a group of people that come to a class of mine, how many people believe that relationships are easy? Nobody raises their hand. I believe relationships are easy. And my relationship with my wife, with my kids, is easy. Does it mean I don't do work? No, I do work. It's about effective communication. It's about honoring agreements with people. But it's easy. I don't have the drama and the gossip and the BS and the manipulation that most relationships I see have. I have a different belief structure. And with that belief structure, I have a different way of being in relationship because I thought about it over and over and over again. Here's something, if you don't know this about Lee, let me tell you a secret. I am never going to be average. I was never born to be average, and neither were you. You were born to be unique. Your job is to discover your uniqueness and live that uniqueness in the most incredible way you can possibly imagine. That's your gift to the world. It's not fitting in and being average. Do you get that? It's not about being average. What kind of goal is that? Think about that. Being average. I'll tell you what. See my shirt? That's not average. There's only one other person in the world, two people that have this shirt. One, because I gave my wife one, and one, my friend Naranjan, because I gave him one. I created this shirt. I had this shirt designed on this type of dry fit shirt. I create things for myself. I don't follow the masses. When we follow the masses, we give up the ability to direct our thought. We let the masses think for us. I want to leave you with a question. Isn't it time you took back your power on what you think about? And as you come to the answer to that question, ask, if I took back my power about what I'm thinking about, what would happen to my life? Next time I'm talking, I'd love to hear you. Just come right on the chat and tell me what you came up with. Is it time for you to take back your power? And how would that benefit you? Make it a great one, because let me tell you, only you can. Much love. And as Wim Hof would say, much power. Aloha.